justice for all.
I'd like to call the Lamar City Council regular meeting for Tuesday, February 21, 2023 to order. We'll start with roll call.
Goodchild,
Yes.
Donlin, Wick,
Yes.
Sturgeon,
Yes.
Bruns,
Yes.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We'll start the meeting with a hearing on the Cul-de-Sac Ordinance. At the February 7, 2023 meeting, council set this date and time to hear public comments on a change to the Lamar's Code of Ordinances, Chapter 165 Subdivision Regulations. The change would increase the maximum length of a cul-de-sac from 500 to 750 feet. I'd like to open the hearing and ask for any written or oral objections or comments to this ordinance change. Anybody here to comment on the cul-de-sac change? Not seeing anybody jump up from their seats, I'll close the open hearing and turn to the council. Administration and Planning and Zoning Commission are recommending the change.
Motion to approve first reading of ordinance 977 to amend 165 subdivision regulations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Wick,
Yes.
Bruns,
Yes.
Sturgeon,
Yes.
Goodchild,
Yes. Motion to waive second and third readings of 977 of ordinance, motion to waive second and third readings of ordinance number 977, amending chapter 165 subdivision regulations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Wick,
Yes.
Bruns,
Yes.
Sturgeon,
Yes.
Goodchild,
Yes. Motion to adopt ordinance number 977, amending 165 subdivision regulations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call again, please.
Wick,
Yes.
Bruns,
Yes.
Sturgeon,
Yes.
Goodchild,
Yes.
That hearing is closed. Moving on to the Weinberg Investments, Inc. request to update land lease. So at the February 7, 2023 meeting, council set this date and time to hear public comments on Weinberg Investments, Inc. request to update their current land lease. Since the meeting, the proposed updates have been changed to the following. Number one, assign the existing lease from Weinberg Investments, Inc. to 2021 Floyd Valley Partners, LP. Number two, modify the lease payment terms as followed. $5,000 a year for years 1 through 5, $7,500 a year for years 6 through 10, $10,000 a year for years 11 through 15, $12,500 a year for years 16 through 21, $15,000 a year for years 22 through 27, $17,500 a year for years 28 through 32, and $20,000 a year for the balance of the term until 2102. Incorporate the terms. Number three was incorporate the terms of a HUD lease addendum, Exhibit C, into the lease. The lease addendum is requested and required in connection with the mortgage loan insured by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for multifamily projects. Total investment expected of $2 million. I'd like to open the hearing and ask for any written or oral objections or comments on the proposed update. I see we have a representative of Weinberg Investments.
Thank you, Mayor. Roger Codron representing the owners. I want to first thank Mr. Murphy, Mr. Becerra, and all of you for your cooperation, your help, and guidance through this process. I'm not going to repeat what I said last week unless you ask me. I'll just answer some questions if you have any.
We did add to the proposed resolution some language on the bottom of 3 that's not in your packet but is on your desk. It just basically calls for, if the HUD loan is not approved, the HUD addendum is not in effect. So that's in the resolution that should be in front of you. So nothing major.
I have heard nothing but positive comments about your plans to the improvements to the building.
Thank you.
And they're very excited about it. Many think long overdue. So
Yes,
Most would like to start tomorrow.
yes, well, April will start with the extension of the fire sprinkler system into each of the apartments. So that will be done prior to, and it's actually a precursor to this loan refinancing.
The elevator was brought up a couple weeks ago, and I know that that was heavy on my list too, but somebody else had already beat me to it, so. Where are you at on the elevator, because it hasn't been an issue in the past?
The elevator, we have, let's see, over the course of the last year, there's been about, I think about $110,000 invested in the inner workings of the elevator. And the elevator is always of concern. Chief Shipper has been tremendously helpful with our problems through there. And so we have a few more improvements that we'll be doing to help ensure the hopeful continue running of the elevator as a part of this project as well. So we had another, I think it's another $49,000 put into it.
Okay.
Some last little improvements. Elevators are always touchy.
But it's on the radar.
Yeah, that is of great concern to us. So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
Appreciate that.
Anybody have any other questions of Roger? Any other input from the public out there? Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your consideration and your help.
I will close the meeting, or close the hearing, and turn to the council. The administration recommends the council approve the update to the land lease.
Motion to adopt resolution number 2311 approving an update to the long-term land lease regarding Floyd Valley Apartments.
Second.
A motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Goodchild.
Yes.
Sturgeon,
Yes.
Wick,
Yes.
Bruns,
Yes.
Thank you very much, folks.
Motion here carries. Look forward to seeing the improvements there. Now we'll move on to general discussion with opening up to citizens, first of all. Any citizens here to address the council? Welcome. I'd like you to state your name and what you're here for, I guess.
My name is Angel Anderson, and I'm the president of Wet Nose Rescue.
Great.
And I just kind of wanted to open the dialogue to be able to start working with the city to have future donations, or not future donations, future fund requests. We're newly licensed. We started in November, on November 1st. So we're still new to like the deadlines of applying for requests for funding, and we're not quite aware of all the possibilities that we could have, like grant requests, other kinds of deadlines like community grants. So we want to be able to communicate that so that we learn the proper channels to go through to help get the shelter funding. Our request for the end of the year was submitted late, so we are aware of that now, and that's where the deadlines come in, with knowing those, being aware. We want the opportunity to work with the city, and we are bringing people into the community. One of the things that helps the city and the county is we have taken in a lot of animals, and we've had over 50 adoptions so far since November 1st in our opening. We also have a chip reader that we can help return lost pets, and we do a lot of networking on Facebook and social media to help people locate their pets, to help adopt people, or adopt out to people. We have a lot of volunteers, but we have 12, maybe about a dozen strong cohesive volunteers that help run the shelter, and they're there consistently. They know the routine, they know the animals, they know what has to be done, and they train new ones that come in. And then we have other ones to come in that do dog walking, clean cages, litter box. They have to wash bedding. We have laundry going constantly. So just kind of telling you what we're doing, and we are bringing in people into our community. We've had adoptions out to Sloan, Ottawa, those places coming in. We have relationships with the Westhold, Partners for Patriots, People for Pets in Spencer. They've all helped with getting started, asking questions, clear back from the fair, the first fair we were at in July of 2019. So the community interest, what we have done for them is we provide opportunities for like NHS students. They've come in and done service time, community service for probation. They've come in and served community, done their community service volunteer hours with us. 4-H clubs, we've given them opportunities to help us and help them. They've got club projects, Boy Scout projects. We have an Eagle Scout that's going to donate their time to build our fence this summer or this spring. So they have put together all of that information to help us, and that also counts to give them their project. There's just a lot of things we want to learn about working with the city and how to apply for help and how to work with you. We are willing to work with police department, and Chief Kevin has worked with us on trying to help with the like the dog pound issue, dog catcher, having a place to go with the dogs rather than having to drive clear to Sioux City to like save the money there for the overtime for the officers that they have to pay. So we're just hoping for our help requesting funding and in a timely manner that we need to do, so the education on that, and also hoping to help you in return, like in the city, you know, when there's things that come up that we can help with the city. We do bring people in to the community. There's people who come from all kinds of places around the county that come to the community that look for animals, and then they go shopping here in town. We don't know if hotel and motel tax would be something that we could you know, request funds from in the future for that kind of issue.
Well, just to answer your questions and let you know that we can't act on anything here right now since it's not an agenda item.
No, I understand.
As far as, you know, learning the timelines and stuff, I think Jacob or Jason would be able to fill you in on anything regarding, you know, a request for funding that way. I do appreciate your comments about working with the city on our current stray dogs. I know that has been a concern of Chief Van de Beek before, having to pay officers to drop them off down Sioux City. That's certainly a concern.
Right.
But I should have noted beforehand that we do have a 10-minute timeline, and we got about 4 minutes left. So
Okay.
just
Well,
so you
that's
know.
pretty much that's pretty much what I wanted to say was, you know, that I wanted to introduce myself to you and tell you what we do and where we're coming from, and that's pretty much it. Just learn the procedures and how to talk to you and open line of communication.
Yeah, and I would say Jessica Brownmiller would be a source for the hotel motel, and she can give you those timelines as well.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we already passed those. that
Oh, I
timeline as
understand,
well.
yeah,
But,
and Jason did, you know, he explained the end of the year and all of that, and that's not really what I'm here for, is the funding to try to ask for more money or debate
I
that or
appreciate
anything
it.
like that.
No, if any of you haven't been out there yet, it's an amazing facility. They did a wonderful job with it, so it's a big asset to our community.
It's a huge undertaking, so.
Have you taken any animal from the police department as they pick them up? Have you taken any?
Not yet. We do not, we have our shelter license as of November 1st, and we've had a foster license for a couple of years, but our shelter license does not involve, or does not include being able to do a pound license, which if he brought in an animal, that would be a pound situation, but he has approached us and, but do you want to talk and tell him what we've worked on?
I can address that. To answer your question, we met, 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
Okay, so we did some checking with the state. We can transfer dogs to their facility. The past couple of weeks, we've drafted a agreement with Wet Nose,
Yes.
where they will be our priority first contact for unclaimed dogs. That is on Mike's desk as we speak for final review, and you should have that, I would think, within a day or two, and maybe by next week, we can start working with them as an agreement.
Were we gonna do a trial run? Or are you just gonna just go into the program?
We're going right into the program.
Okay, we were gonna do a trial run, but.
Well, the trial run is 2023.
Okay, so we're in a trial run, but then actually we're just taking the responsibility, so.
You haven't seen the agreement yet, but it can be canceled by either of you, so we're just gonna jump right in.
I jump first, ask questions later. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks for
Do
coming.
you have a
Yeah.
governing board of some sort?
Yes, we have a board of directors.
You have a board of directors, okay, so I just want to file this. 18 years ago, we rescued a dog, we've still got him, and so I'm very pro helping animals, but I have a question for you,
Yeah.
it's a tough question.
Uh-oh.
Does your board have a policy, at what time will you euthanize an animal?
We're a no-kill shelter, so what we do is the last-ditch effort. So we'll do everything we can to help the pet, but when there's a time that, you know, when the lights are on but nobody's home, or if a pet is suffering, an animal is too sick, too injured, too old, and can't do it, then we euthanize. And
Okay, so you have a policy, that's excellent. And then are you in cooperation with the local vets?
Yes, we are.
Okay, good enough.
Yep.
And the policy is, as you say, when it's in a life situation or suffering, not necessarily they've been here and haven't been adopted, but they're a
right.
healthy animal.
They're not cute.
I couldn't do that. That's why we're called no-kill, yeah. And we do cremate them. That's our policy, is they're cremated with the vet. And then we have a place that's a memorial at the, and thank God we've only lost 3. So we have a memorial and their ashes at the shelter.
Well, just so you have something in place, that's all, you know,
Yes.
because there is a point in time, a lot of times,
Yes.
okay, that's all I wanted to know.
And it's not because it gets too expensive or anything like that. It's
Right.
Yep.
And I want to thank Angel and Jim and Roxy and all the other volunteers. I've been out there. It's a really neat
It
place.
is very neat.
And we thank you for your help, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I look forward to hopefully working
Yeah.
with you and learning a little more. Thanks.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
If I have 30 seconds.
Sure, go ahead.
My wife, Roxy, and I, we've supported it for a number of years, and both financially and help out and such. But one thing came to my mind last night. A lot of businessmen will say, our biggest problem is hired help, find good, dependable help. And the thing that stands out in my mind is that we don't have the resources to pay salaries. This is all volunteer work. And it's just amazing the time that some workers have come in and are constantly there. Angel's probably a primary example. She leads the pack, I think, with the time, effort she puts in. So,
8 to 10 hours a day, sometimes more. Sometimes I get a bail at 3:30 to go get my boys and then go home.
But a lot of dependable workers, and I think the building that was renovated is good as you come into Lamar's. It's all new siding. The inside is steel siding, good for wiping down, sanitizing, and has 3 good features: location, location, location.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for volunteering. Any other citizens here for discussion?
Orville Hamus, I live on 8th Street, and this is just a simple request, something for you to kind of look into. I've noticed since January that there's been like 5 vehicles go up our street the wrong way. And I never really paid any attention to it before, but there's basically no markings like do not enter, especially on 4th Southeast and 5th Southwest and Central. Just kind of a request, maybe you can look into maybe putting do not enter signs on the intersections of the third streets there. What really got our attention last night, we were at the stop sign at the end of 8th going on to 5th Southwest, and a car, out of county car was heading, I assume, up to the school. Just about got us in the front. You know, noticed at the last minute that, wait, I can't go that way. So that's all it is, a simple request that you look into maybe.
What time did that happen? Yesterday?
Kind of late, right before supper time. We were kind of heading out to Hy-Vee.
The reason I
It
asked.
was lightish yet, it
is
wasn't completely dark,
I
but
was actually gonna talk to Chief Weinberg about some of these concerns myself, because I live right there too, and I have noticed certain times of day at class change, that there's an awful lot of, that's a speedway.
yeah, well, I won't go into that, but usually.
Well, I get it, but the bottom line is,
Yeah.
I think that it needs to be addressed, because it seems to me like at school changes, there's issues that you're
Well,
mentioning.
yeah, well.
So anyway,
when the
okay.
T&I gets done, there's twice a day, it's
Yes.
usually pretty fast through there, but most people follow pretty darn close,
Right.
except for the T&I.
But there are one-way signs, arrows indicating one way on all those.
If you
boulevards.
look, if you're going south on 5th Southwest, there are no one-way signs. The only sign there is for the northbound on 5th. Central has one each direction, just on each street. 4th has one sign if you're going north. There is none, no, it's the other way around,
Yeah.
going north.
I think it is.
But yeah, if you look close, you know, and I live there, so I know that, you know,
Right.
it doesn't automatically go the right way, but out of town, out of state, you know, it's easy to miss, and, you know, nobody's been hurt or anything, but it's just kind of a common courtesy thing, I wish, just
Something
say you
to
look
say,
into
maybe
it.
to
Yeah.
bring it.
So that's all, that was my concern, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other citizens here? Discussion? Not, we'll turn to the thumbs up award.